Hello, I'm Robert, and you're welcome here in my busy little shop. On today's episode of What's on My Workbench, I just heard a delivery truck. So I'll run out here and I'll grab these boxes. Let's take a look and see what we've got. And I can see them from here. There's some pretty good sized boxes. Be right back. Here's one of three. Does it have a weight on it here? I imagine it does. It feels like it's about 40 pounds. I know one of the boxes said 50. Be right back. The 50 box, or this one's more. And then I've got a small box here as well. All right, so we'll open this up and see what's in there. But when I returned from the Prescott Leather Show, if you remember, one of the things I wanted to buy, I needed a bunch of leather. And I had said I was going to wait until I moved to my summer shop before I ordered leather, so I wouldn't have it to move. But you can see how long my resolve lasted there. And then what I did was I sent an email to Montana Leather asking for a quote on a few different leathers. They do commercial accounts depending on the amount that you purchase. And I got a letter back, and Montana Leather had watched one of my live streams not long ago when we had a pretty good sized discussion about Vegtan leathers, where I buy them, why I buy the leather from where I do. And in there, I can't remember who it was. I think maybe it was Milo out of El Paso was asking about, do I notice a difference in tooling from one leather to the next? So he proposed an idea of sending some leather to do a comparison. So in here, I've got a couple of hides of leather that Montana Leather sent me that I'll be doing some testing on, and I'll do that in a different video. But I wanted to do some testing as controlled as I can come up with on tooling and the difference in how the leather tools from one to the other. So I've got, I think, supposed to be in here, I've got a hide of Hermann Oak, 9-ounce leather, and I have a hide of the MTL, that's their brand name leather, in 9-ounce. So what I plan to do is to do the same project out of the two that involves some tooling, edge burnishing, dyeing across the whole board, and let's see how one acts compared to the other. But that's not what today's video is about. I just received this, so I thought I'd open it up and see. And I received a box of hardware here from Landwerlin Leather out of Indianapolis. And you guys have heard me talk about Landwerlin Leather before. Where's my knife? I'll use this one. And I went ahead and placed an order. I was getting a little bit low on 1.5" stainless steel buckles. And I've never had a show outside of Colorado in the past. In the summer, I usually have 2 or 3 shows during the summer. But I had an opportunity coming up here at the end of March here in Mesa, Arizona. I'm going to be set up and have my stuff on display. I have to figure out how to create the display because I've got display materials to hang my belts and stuff on, but that's all at my shop in Colorado because I wasn't doing any shows down here. But the point of that was I was anticipating needing to create some belts, and I was getting low on my 1.5" stainless steel buckles that I purchased from them. So I called Eric and asked him to send me some. And then I also had a few other things that I wanted as well. And let's see if he's got everything on here that I wanted. Yep, I believe we do. So I've got some buckles. Let me move you a little bit closer here. So I got a couple dozen of my buckles that I typically buy from Eric. And those are the 1.5" stainless steel buckle there. I'll put a link in the description again with Eric's information. He doesn't have or maintain a website. So if you want anything from him, you got to pick up the phone and call him. And so I got some of the 1.5" buckles. I ordered a package of some Chicago screws. These are just a nickel plated. I like these because they use a star drive on the back to tighten them up, as opposed to a screwdriver that might slip and scratch the leather. And I do know that, let me think about it. Weaver has that same screw back on theirs, but they're like more than twice the price. And yeah, you know, I'm sensitive to price just like anybody else, especially when it's something as normal as that. And then I've got an unusual project. Let me make some noise here. I have a little bit of an unusual project for myself coming up. Yeah, a couple of heels. I've got a pair of cowboy boots that I've wore out the back, and before it gets in the leather part of it, I thought I would get some heels to go on there. And really, Landworld and Leather, they service cobblers across the United States. That's probably the bigger part of his business. And so I said, you know, I think you got some heels. So he sent me a couple of heels, and I said, can you send me some nails? So I'm assuming that's what's in there. So yeah, I'll do a little video replacing the heels. Hopefully I don't ruin my cowboy boots. I think I can probably figure it out. But let's get into it here. I know some people are sensitive about reveal videos, and then people take forever to get to the main event on showing what you've got. So we'll get in there. Get this out of the way. Yeah, so there's actually quite a bit of stuff here. I'll open it up, we'll drag it out here, and there's some future videos coming up that there'll be some materials revealed here, and I'll tease on a little bit, but I won't get too far into it. But as it normally happens, I called or sent an email and asked for a quote on some of the materials, and then he came out with a sale, so I added some materials on there. So we've got, I think, quite a bit in here. I did have a side of leather that I was looking for that he didn't have, so I'll get another order later with some more of the black pre-dyed leather. Let's see what we got here. Oh yeah. We'll talk about that in a minute. I'm not sure if that's the... I believe that's, yeah, I think that's the Hermann Oak. That's 8 to 9 ounce Hermann Oak, I think. I can see it's got a pretty good sized brand on it there. Not long ago, Montana Leather had a sale on their oil tan leathers, and I ended up, I couldn't control myself. I did get, I bought some, let me think about it. I bought some at the Prescott Leather Show, and I showed you a few different colors there. That's when I bought the turquoise and a few others. But they had their SB foot for $50 a side and free shipping if you bought 2 or more. It was the hides that were on sale were usually, I think, $85. He had them on sale for $65 with free shipping. If you bought 2 hides, then they were $50. 2 hides or more, they were $50 a piece. So I've got this hide here. And it's got some pull up in it. By the time I'm done with it, I'll abuse it and get some texture in there. But I think that's a nice looking brown there. This has got a milled surface on it, so it's got a lot of the normal imperfections. And that's one of the things about the SB foot. Some people like that, and some people don't. But so this is not a full grain leather. It's been milled a little bit, and then it's, I don't know if they do that. They must do that after the tanning, but maybe before the treatment. I don't know exactly the process on that. But this is some 4 to 5 ounce SB foot leather. That side was $50. And then I've got a different shade of brown here as well. There was, I went and forgot. This is a little bit different brown, a little lighter color. I'm not sure if it shows very well there or not, but this one is same, 4 to 5 ounce. That one was $50. And my the travel totes that I make, I was looking to see if I had one out. I just finished a selection of them. Depending on the hide, I can, more times than not, I can get leather for 2 bags out of one side. So that makes the leather cost in that bag $25, which is pretty good. There's some other materials there. Let's get over here and we'll get the leather here, and then I'll come back to that in a second. Oh yeah. If you know by now, I get tempted with colors on leather. Set this out of the way. And I just can't help myself. This is some oil tan chap weight leather. The color is called plum. Let me see if I can get where you can see the color. I don't think it's really picking the color up very well, but it's a pretty soft temper, as you can see. So what I'll end up doing is, I think I'll make a travel tote with this, but I'll line it with some probably 2 to 3 ounce leather to stiffen it up a little bit. But I think that'll make some just beautiful dop kits. Yeah, that's really pretty. That one was $50 as well. This was a sale that was, I guess about a week ago. And I couldn't leave it alone. Got a little bit of leather here. Holy smokes. Yeah, so that's the Hermann Oak, and this is the MTL leather, 8 to 9 ounce. And these are the 2 leathers that I'm going to do a comparison video. We're going to see how they tool, how they dye, how the edge burnishes, and try to get a comparison. A little smudge mark there. Oh goodness. Oh yeah, that's a pretty nice looking hide there. What I say about the large table, it collects stuff. I don't know how that happens. That's a pretty nice looking hide. Then I asked for, I bought these. I bought 2 hides of 2 to 3 ounce lining leather. Yeah, 2 to 3 ounce. This one's 27 square feet. And I thought I would use it to line some of this 8-9, and if I use that 8-9 for belts, line it with that, then that should get me in the range that I'm looking for a belt. And I typically end up with 2 layers of 6 ounce, because that gets me the 12, and I like that because if I end up with a scratch or something, I can use that as the liner piece. But this obviously is going to be the liner for that one. This one I can see there are some wrinkles, natural wrinkles associated with the leather through this one. That's 27 square feet. And then here's another one. Looks about the same. Let's get a little bit of a harder crease there. That's a long hide. Holy smokes, how long is that hide? Someone asked one time, how long do the hides get to be? Let me find my tape measure. Get a rough measurement on this hide. 5 feet to there. You go all the way to the end. That's 9 feet of leather. That's a pretty good size steer there. So I have the 2 to the 3 ounce to line the 9 ounce. So I have 2 hides of 8/9 and 2 hides of 2/3. See what else I've got here. This, they wrap this because this is an oil tan here. And if you're storing your leather and you put rolled veg tan in and then you put an oil tan next to it, it's going to end up staining that leather. So it's another oil tan brown. I don't remember which color this one is. That's a beautiful hide. It has an S over here. That's I might be able to use that brand. I know somebody that has a first name that starts with S. That'd be kind of cool to have on a bag. And then I've got another hide of this plum. That was the color they called it, plum. It's kind of to me it's like a burgundy wine color. Let's get it over here, see if we can see the color. Yeah, I'm not sure my lighting does it justice, but that's just a beautiful color. I've got plenty of it. That one's 24 feet. This one's probably close to it. I did notice on the belly, there's one spot, the hide's not perfect, but I don't know if that's where a brand was here. I thought it was belly, but it's actually on the back. That's probably where the brand was here. I don't know a lot about how they treat that to get it. It's got a orange peel. It's not a basketball print look, but it's like an orange peel. That's a beautiful hide. And one more brown. Now, I've talked about it. When you get these, I've probably bought sight unseen, probably close to 20 hides of this SB foot leather. This one's got some nice pull up to it. Is that pretty or what? And I had one hide that I thought was a little bit on the ugly side. This one's got some creases in it here, so I'll have a little bit of loss in this one here. There's like a crease. Let's see if I can show it to you here, right there. So that's a pretty good crease. So I don't know if it got crease going through the machine and that made those marks on there. So on this one, I'll probably only get one travel tote if I make travel tote out of it. But I can work around that because I have to cut strips for handles and such. So on here, I can line up and cut strips for handles between there and over here. And so I can limit the loss. But if you need the whole hide, you need a piece of leather that big, then that would be a problem. Man, it's got a little bit of a waxy, oily feel to it. This color was called ombre. Yeah. Holy smokes, what have I done to myself here? It's easy to buy this stuff. Now I got to figure out how to get it used. That's a huge hide as well. So that's 4 feet to there. Five feet to there. If you took off that last little bit, 8 feet, That's 8 feet, and this is that's a nice clean. It's got the little S up there, but that's a nice looking hide for 50 bucks. That includes shipping. I've seen other people sell the same classification of leather. A guy out of Texas shipped some. They charge shipping. They're in the same price range, but they charge shipping. That's $50, free shipping. I just finished making a series of travel totes. So I've just replenished that. There's a bunch of leather there. All right, let me get this out of the way here. I'll go away for just a minute. I'll get this rolled up, and then I'll be back and we'll talk about the rest of the stuff in the packaging. I thought maybe you'd like a little closer look at this. This is the MTL 8 to 9 ounce hide here. And well, it's pretty clean. There's this little smudge there, but there's plenty of distance here to cut out belt straps. So one of the things I like about this tabletop, in the past, I would have to get down on the floor in the garage, and I'm always worried about picking up some contaminant from there. I do need to clear off a couple projects here and some video ideas here, but I'll have this whole area here, so those soft-sided or soft-tempered leather, I can get them rolled back up again. So I like working up off the floor, but let's see what else I've got here. All right, so in the Leathercraft world, if you want to create debate, I see it all the time. I think people are doing it just to create debate on some of these different like Facebook leatherworking groups. They're like, tell me about weldwood, what do you think? And holy smokes, the debate on that. So I was talking with Pat from Montana Leather about questions that he gets on a regular basis. And he said contact adhesive is one of the big ones. On the live stream, I had conversation about contact adhesive and which ones to use and that type of thing. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to dig in and let's see if I can come up with some ways to compare it. Because if the contact adhesive works on either side, well then how do you know which one's better than the other one? Ease of use, that would be one way. How far it spreads or doesn't spread, I guess that could be another one. And a lot of people I know use 2 coats of contact adhesive. If I could find one that for sure worked with 1 coat, well, that would be a savings as well because you would use less contact adhesive. Even though the second coat that you put on there spreads so much further after the leather's been sealed. So I don't know how much of a savings that is. So I always go with what's comfortable. But based on all of those questions, I had Montana Leather send me some contact adhesive and a couple other things that I thought might be interesting to have some comparison videos. So I need to come up with a way to do it. So I had people like, you need to try this or you need to try that. We're going to do that. I've got a quart of Barge here. I've got a quart of Master or Masters here. And I've got the, I think you say it, Rihanna 315 here. So I've got a quart of each one of these contact adhesives. So look forward. It's going to probably be a few weeks down the road. I really have to think. Tell you what, if you've got some ideas, put it in the comments. How would you want to see them compared? Is it about how far it spreads? The adhesion, I think I could maybe come up with a way to test and see how much adhesion it has. My experience on the weldwood is if you try to pull it apart, the leather fails before the adhesive does because the adhesive is so much stronger than the leather is, which would make sense. So anyway, I'll be doing a comparison video. I've got Barge, Masters, and the 315 here. And then I get people from time to time tell me that I need to try some other finishes other than the Phoebing's finishes. So I have a quart here of the high gloss the 610 high gloss. And I get people talk about different oils that we should be using. So I've got Duff's leather conditioning oil here. I noticed that Don Gonzalez, who's always used olive oil, recently has started using some of the Duff's. So I've got the Duff's here. And then on Montana's site, they've got an oil that is, I think, unique to them. It's called Montana Pitch Blend Leather Oil and Conditioner, a unique blend of pine pitch and mink oil. So I thought I would see how that looks. And yeah, so I think we've got some stuff here to keep us busy. I've got one more package here. I spend a lot of time talking about using a rotary punch. And I have people, why don't you use drive punches? And I do on some things. I typically don't on belts. And you already know I like making belts, and you've seen lots of belt videos. But I went through my drive punches, and I think that's what's in here, is I bought some that make up what some people would call a standard set of drive punches. So I've got a number 2 here that fits in between the sizes I have here. I don't see a number on this one. This is a 5/32, and then I've got a 1/4 inch here, which is that a number 9? I think that's a number 9. So I've got some drive punches, and I know a lot of people complain that they don't come sharp, and it looks like I've got a little bit of sharpening to do on those. And then I've got some Montana leather stickers. That's cool. Well, I think we're going to wrap up there. I will have here in the next, I'm going to say within 2 weeks, I hope, I'll have a comparison video using the Hermann Oak against the MTL, both in the 8/9. And I've been making some of these journals lately. I might do that. If you've got a different idea on tooling ideas, then let me know. But I think what I'll probably do is I'll probably make 4. I'll make 2 out of the Hermann Oak and 2 out of the MTL leather, and one of them I'll just do an oil finish, and then maybe I've got some Duff's conditioner. I'll just do that. That's all it'll be, and I think that'll help show if one has better burnish than the other one. And then I'll do the other one. I'll maybe do in like a natural color like I've got here. This one's got black antiquing on it, so maybe I'll do a black or brown antiquing. But the point of that is to see, do you see a difference in it with the natural leather as compared to one where it's been antique finish? Because I see a lot of people say they don't worry too much about the burnish that it gets because they're going to put an antique finish on there, which I think the antique finish can hide a lot of sins or errors or variances in it. But I think if I do one that is just straight up veg tan natural with an oil finish, you're going to see if there's a big difference in the burnish on there. So look for that coming up here in the next couple of weeks. I appreciate you taking time to be within the shop today. Please like, share, and subscribe. And could someone come by and clean up my shop? It's a mess now. I appreciate you being here. Have a great day.